Ladies and gentlemen, lean in close because today we're talking about a car that was a Playboy years before Hugh Hefner even knew how to iron a silk bathrobe. I'm talking about the 1947 Playboy A48. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, this car does not come with a centerfold or a mansion full of high-maintenance roommates, but it does have a folding top that's sexier than a library card, and a history so bizarre you'd think it was written by a committee of clowns and rocket scientists. Picture this. It's 1947. World War II is over, everyone is wearing high-waisted pants that reach their armpits, and America is hungry for cars. Enter three guys from Buffalo, New York. Lou Horowitz, a Packard dealer, Charlie Thomas, a former Pontiac engineer, and Norm Richardson, a mechanic who probably had more grease in his veins than actual blood. They looked at the massive chrome-covered land yachts of the era and said, "What if we made a car for people who actually want to park occasionally?" They founded the Playboy Motor Car Corporation with the goal of building a second car for the American family, something small, cheap, and easy to run. Basically, they invented the around-the-town car before anyone knew what a town was supposed to look like in the suburbs. Their creation, the Playboy A48, was a mechanical paradox. It was tiny. We're talking could be mistaken for a large shoe tiny. It sat on 12-inch wheels, which are essentially the same size as the wheels on a modern grocery cart, yet it was advertised as a three-seater. Now, I've seen the interior of an A48. Fitting three grown men on that 50-inch bench seat is less of a commute and more of a first date that goes way too far. If you were the guy in the middle, you weren't just a passenger, you were the connective tissue for the other two. You didn't just share a ride, you shared a soul. But the A48 had a party trick that would make a modern Tesla blush. It was the first American production car to feature a retractable hardtop. That's right, 10 full years before Ford came out with the Skyliner and acted like they'd discovered fire. These three guys in a Buffalo garage had already figured out how to make a steel roof disappear into the trunk using nothing but hinges and hope. It wasn't powered by fancy hydraulics or electric motors that would inevitably catch fire. It was manual. You just unlatched it and pushed. It was the perfect car for the indecisive driver. 1 minute you're in a cozy steel coupe, and the next you're eating bugs at 40 miles per hour. It was peak 1940s optimism, a roof that vanishes and a car that barely appears. Under the hood, or rather under the tiny metal flap at the front, lived a 40-horsepower Continental four-cylinder. Let's put that in perspective. A modern lawnmower has about 20 horsepower, so the Playboy A48 had the heart of two very motivated John Deeres. It could reach a top speed of 75 miles per hour, provided you were driving off a cliff with a strong tailwind and had just received some very bad news. Its 0 to 50 time was approximately 17 seconds. To put that in modern terms, by the time you hit 50 miles per hour in a Playboy, the person behind you has already called the police, filed a missing persons report, and gone through 3 stages of grief. But hey, it got 35 miles per gallon. In 1947, that was practically witchcraft. You could drive from New York to LA on about $4 worth of gas and a very high tolerance of vibration. So why haven't you heard of it? Why aren't we all driving Playboys today? Well, the company's downfall is a comedy of errors. They needed money to move into a massive former Chevrolet plant, so they tried to launch a public stock offering. But they had the worst timing in human history. Right as they were asking for cash, the government started investigating Preston Tucker, the guy with the car of tomorrow and the 3 headlights, for fraud. The SEC got so spooked by startup car companies that they basically shut down the party for everyone. Suddenly, the Playboy Motor Car Corporation went from the next big thing to that weird company from Buffalo with the disappearing roof. In the end, only 97 of these cars were ever built. They are rarer than a humble billionaire. But here's the kicker. The legacy of the car didn't die in the scrapyard. A few years later, a young guy named Hugh Hefner was trying to start a men's magazine. He originally wanted to call it Stag Party, but another magazine threatened to sue him. One of his buddies, whose mother had worked for the now-defunct Playboy Motor Car Corporation, suggested the name Playboy. Hefner loved it because it sounded classy, dapper, and a little bit naughty. So the most famous magazine on Earth is named after a failed microcar from Buffalo. I like to imagine Hefner realized that both the car and the magazine had one thing in common, a top that was designed to come off very easily. Today, only about 43 of these cars are left. They are mechanical unicorns. When you see one at a car show, it looks like it escapes from a black and white cartoon. It's got a unibody construction, independent front suspension, and a name that makes grandmas clutch their pearls until you explain the history. It's the car that changed American automotive history by proving that small could be cool and that a disappearing roof was the ultimate flex. It was the first subcompact before the Japanese car industry made it a global standard. So here's to the 1947 Playboy A48. It was too small for its time, too slow for its name, and too smart for its own good. It didn't conquer Detroit, and it didn't make its founders rich, but it gave us the first retractable hardtop and the name of a global empire. Not bad for a car that looks like it was designed by someone who really liked 12-inch pizzas. Next time you see a modern convertible with a folding metal roof, just remember, it's just a Playboy that finally grew up, got a job, and stopped being so intimate with its passengers. It's the forgotten ghost of Buffalo, the car that proved that even if you fail to change the world, you might just end up naming the world's most famous rabbit.